I know on this channel we review a lot of garbage games, but today is the exact opposite. This is absolute D1 Michelin star cooking over here in this game. This is a game I played on Lichess or Lichess, however you say it, .org, and you can see the Lichess notes here, annotations. Excuse me, because I just copied it in chess.com. Because I like chess.com's review interface better. Anyway, this is an absolute just Michelin star meal of a game that I cooked up. All right, I am Chef Kessler, and let's get right into it. So we have the Danish Gambit. This is center game, and now we have the Danish Gambit, and you already know something great is about to go down when the Danish Gambit is your appetizer. Now, D takes C3. And we have, boom, the mainline Danish Gambit position. The computer says this is negative 0.69, which makes it just even better. Another reason why the Danish Gambit is the best Gambit, because it has the best evaluation. And we have the fully operational bishop pair, as Agadmator would say, and great attacking chances. Objectively, if black knows the theory, it is much better for black, but if they don't, they could be in a world of trouble. Let's see what happens. Knight to f6, e5, bishop b4 check, and this is actually, I've studied all this, and he finds d5, an exclamation mark move. But I find the only move that keeps white in the game, e captures on f6, and I did study this, so it's not like it came out of this out of nowhere. After a trade here, he plays f takes g7, and now, every good dish has to have like a spinach or a Brussels sprouts or like some vegetable that you don't necessarily want, right? And it's no different here, all right? Instead of playing the absolutely devastating knight to d5, which threatens the fork here, and black cannot defend against both threats. Instead of playing that, I play knight to f3. Well, it threatens a fork after this rook moves. But I play knight to f3, blundering all of my advantage, and now giving black the advantage. But that is okay, right? The appetizer is over, and now we move on to the main course. Rook captures castles, bishop g4, and now here it comes, the Michelin star cooking you're about to taste here. Look at these exclamation mark moves, all right, by both of us even. Check. Bishop to e6, the only move that doesn't get him checkmated, because if he moves the king, this rook comes down here and delivers mate on the back rank. Now knight to d5, threatening the fork. Knight to a6, another exclamation mark move by him, defending the fork. And now yet another exclamation mark move, knight to d4. And as you can see, the chef's flair, the chef's kiss that's happening right now, this is about to just get really freaking cooking. c6 attacking the knight. Knight captures an e6, coming with an attack on the rook. So pawn takes back, rook captures e6, coming with check. King f7, and then rook captures f6 or rook f6 check, defended by the knight. King moves out of the way, and now knight to f4, and apparently I'm not the best at moving knights because I needed to have played knight to e3. Don't ask me why. Oh, I guess it comes with an attack on this pawn. That would make a lot of sense. Anyway, he plays rook to f8 blundering, and now we have the second entree here, right? You know how you have like your fish entree, and then you have like your meat entree, and like, you got to have these different entrees. Well, we already saw them with those big cluster of exclamation mark moves, but now we have the beef Wellington of the position. Rook captures on f8 check, trading a pair of rooks, because now I have knight captures or knight e6 check, and this is a fork, and so we take the rook, and boom, now I play rook d7 check, take a pawn, but I got to worry about his pawn. The computer says everything is fine, but this pawn is dangerous. King e5, moving his king closer to action. I move my king closer to the action. Closer. Okay, f4. And I'm like, oh, you have your passed pawn? I'm going to move my passed pawn. And we're just going to, see who can stop the other's passed pawn. He plays c3, moving up. Rook to b1, and now this blunders the game. It blunders the game. This entree, however, it is over, and we are back to choking the game, right? Because he plays c2, rook to c1, and now he brings his king in. I'm like, my only hope is to keep moving these pawns. I protect this pawn over here in case he wants to go after it. He plays knight to e4. Now the game is a dead draw, unless I play a move like h4, doing absolutely nothing. And now he plays king to d2. Rook has to move out of the way. Rook does move out of the way. He gets a queen, and I give up the rook for the pawn, but it's fine. I calculated that I think I can win this if I push and get a passed pawn. He plays knight to d6, blundering the game, because now I can just push pawns. And even though these moves aren't that good, he decides to blunder even harder and play c5. He absolutely had to start stopping these pawns. He had to play something like knight here. He had to play something, I don't know, just anything to stop these pawns, right? Knight here, and after this pawn moves up to try to get a trade, I think he can still defend this with the knight, and maybe the king starts moving back. But no, he wanted to push pawns. Now I find another exclamation mark move. And another one, just like DJ Khaled. And now I play pawn f7. I am getting a queen. Now, a queen versus a pawn on the 7th rank is a win if it's a bishop's pawn on the c file or the f file. It also is a... No, wait. I am wrong. It's actually a draw. It's a draw. I need to study endgames. It is a draw. However, this knight is going to be annoying because there's a lot of squares I can't go to, but that it just covers. Oops, it doesn't cover those squares, though. Right? I could, want to go to those squares, and it could just also block. So I'm like, okay, I am going to trade here. Another exclamation mark move, by the way. But this one was probably the most obvious, take his queen with your queen. And now, what is probably the final exclamation mark move of the game, pawn to g7, he cannot stop me from getting a queen, and he does some checking stuff, but eventually I find this fork, and here, obviously, I missed the mate in one, but that's okay, we're just being a Giga Chad, so we can do the mate later. And that was quite the game.